Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel English Tutorial. I am Rajni Meena, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Government College, Rawatwada. Today we will discuss about Thomas Gray, 1716 to 1771. Thomas Gray was a English poet, letter writer, classical scholar and professor at Pembroke College, Cambridge. He is widely known for his elegy written in Country Churchyard, published in 1751. Gray was an extremely self-critical writer who published only 13 poems in his lifetime. Despite being very popular, he was even offered the position of poet laureate in 1757, though he declined. His writing is conventionally considered to be pre-romantic, but recent critical developments deny such teleological classification. Early life and education. Thomas Gray was born in Cornhill, London. His father, Philip Gray, was a scrivener, and his mother, Dorothy Antrobus, was a milliner. He was the fifth of 12 children and the only one to survive infancy. He lived with his mother after she left his abusive and mentally unwell father. Gray's mother paid for him to go to Eton College, where his uncle Robert and William Antrobus worked. Robert became Gray's first teacher and helped inspire in Gray a love for botany and observational science. Gray's other uncle William became his tutor. He recalled his school days as a time of great happiness and is evident in his ode on a distant prospect of Eton College. Gray was a delicate and scholarly boy who spent his time reading and avoiding athletics. He lived in his uncle's house rather than at college. He made three close friends at Eton: Horace Walpole, son of Prime Minister Robert Walpole, second Thomas Aston, and third Richard West, son of another Richard West, who was briefly Lord Chancellor of Ireland. The four prided themselves on their sense of style, sense of humor, and appreciation of beauty. They were called the Quadruple Alliance. In 1734, Gray went up to He found the curriculum dull. He wrote letters to friends listing all the things he disliked. The masters mad with pride, and the fellows sleepy, drunken, dull, illiterate things. Intended by his family for the law, he spent most of his time as an undergraduate reading classical and modern literature and playing Vivaldi and Scarlatti on the harpsichord for election. In 1738, he accompanied his old school friend Walpole on his grand tour of Europe, possibly at Walpole's expense. The two fell out and parted in Tuscany because Walpole wanted to attend fashionable parties and Gray wanted to visit all the antiquities. They were reconciled a few years later. It was Walpole who later helped publish Gray's poetry. When Gray sent his most famous poem, Elegy, to Walpole, Walpole sent off the poem as a manuscript and it appeared in different magazines. Gray then published the poem himself and received the credit he was due. Writing and academia. Gray began seriously writing poetry in 1742, mainly after the death of his close friend Richard West, which inspired sonnet on the death of Richard West. He moved to Cambridge and began a self-directed program of literary study. Becoming one of the most learned men of his time, He became a fellow first of the Peterhouse and later of Pembroke College, Cambridge. According to Britannica, Gray moved to Pembroke after the students at Peterhouse played a prank on him. Gray spent most of his time as a scholar in Cambridge, and only later in his life did he begin traveling again. Although he was one of the least productive poets, his collective works published during his lifetime amount to fewer than 100 lines. He is regarded as the foremost English language poet of the mid 18th century. In 15 in 1757 he was offered the post of poet laureate, which he refused. Gray was so self-critical and fearful of the failure that he published only 13 poems during his lifetime. He once wrote that he feared his collected works would be mistaken for the works of a flea. Walpole said that he never wrote anything easily but things of humor. Gray came to be known as one of the graveyard poets of the late 18th century, along with Oliver Goldsmith, William Cowper, and Christopher Smart. Gray perhaps knew these men, sharing ideas about death, mortality, and the finality and sublimity of death. In 1762, the Regis Chair of Modern History at Cambridge in sinecure, which carried a salary of $400, fell vacant after the death of Shellet Turner, and Gray's friend lobbied the government unsuccessfully to secure the position for him. In the event, Gray lost out to Lawrence Brocket, but he secured the position in 1768 after Brocket's death. Gray's poems: Ode on the Spring, written in 1742; On the Death of Richard West, written in 1742; Ode on the Death of a Favorite Cat, drowned in a tube of goldfishes, written in 1747; Ode to a Distant Prospect of Eton College, written in 1747 and published anonymously; Elegy written in a country churchyard, written between 1745 to 1750; The Progress of Poesy, a Pindaric Ode, written between 1751 to 1754; The Ward, a Pindaric Ode, written between 1757 and 1755 and 1757; The Fatal Sisters, an ode, written in 1761. Forms. What forms Gray has used? Gray considered his two Pindaric odes, The Progress of Poesy and The Bard, as his best works. Pindaric odes are to be written with fire and passion. Unlike the calmer and most reflective Horatian odes, such as Ode on a Distant Prospect of Eton College, the Bard tells of a wild Welsh poet cursing the Norman king Edward I after his conquest of Wales and prophesying in detail the downfall of the House of Plantagenet. It is melodramatic and ends with the bard hurling himself to his death from the top of a mountain. When his duties allowed, Gray travelled widely throughout Britain to places such as Yorkshire, Derbyshire, Scotland, and most notably the Lake Districts, in search of picturesque landscape and ancient monuments. These elements were not generally valued in the early 18th century, when the popular taste ran to classical style in architecture and literature, and most people liked their scenery tame and well tended. The Gothic tales that appear in his elegy and the ward are a part of the first foreshadowing of the Romantic movement that dominated the early 19th century, when William Wordsworth and the other Lake poets taught people to value the picturesque, the sublime, and the Gothic. Gray combined traditional forms and the poetic diction with new topics and modes of expression, and may be considered as a classically focused precursors of Romantic revival. Gray's connection to Romantic poets is vexed in the prefaces to the 1800 and 1802 editions of the Wordsworth and St. Coleridge lyrical ballads. Wordsworth singled out Gray's sonnet on the death of Richard West to exemplify what he found most objectable in poetry, declaring it was Gray who was at the head of those who, by their regions, have attempted to widen the space of separation betwixt prose and metrical composition, and was more than any other man curiously elaborate in the structure of his own poetic diction. Gray wrote in a letter to West that the language of the age is never the language of poetry. His death, this is a monument of Thomas Gray, plaque adjacent to the tomb of Thomas Gray in Stoke Poges churchyard. Gray died on 30 July 1771 in Cambridge and was buried beside his mother in the churchyard of St. Giles Church in Stoke Poges, the reputed, though disputed, setting of for his famous elegy. His grave can still be seen there. Honors. Gray's biographers William Mason erected a monument to him, designed by John Bacon the Elder, in Poets' Corner at Westminster Abbey in 1778. John Paynes of Stoke had a memorial to Gray built near St. Giles churchyard and engraved with extracts from the elegy. A plaque in Cornhill, London, marks his birthplace. Thanks for watching the video.